We see electric cars on the street every single day, and they just seem to appear, right? Fully formed and ready to go. But have you ever wondered how they go from just a pile of raw metal and tiny electronic cells into that silent, powerful machine? Well, today we're going to do something special. We're going inside one of the most advanced factories on the planet to see exactly how a modern electric car is born, from the very beginning to the very end.
All right, let's pretend we're putting on our hard hats, because we are stepping right onto the factory floor. I mean, this place is like a city of robots, a symphony of automation, and our tour is about to kick off. Let's follow our guide and see how this whole thing comes together.
So our journey starts at the very beginning of the assembly line. But, before a single spark flies or any wire is connected, this factory really acts as this massive logistics hub. It's taking in and preparing thousands of individual parts that are all very soon going to become one sophisticated electric vehicle.
And this makes total sense, right? You just can't build a cutting-edge car with flawed ingredients. That's why every single component that arrives here, I'm talking everything from the tiniest microchip to the biggest metal panel, is meticulously inspected, scanned, and sorted. Quality control isn't the last step in this factory, it is the absolute first.
And just look at the sheer variety of materials coming in the door. These are literally the fundamental building blocks of an EV. You've got lightweight aluminum and high-strength steel for the frame. Thousands of these little lithium cells for the battery. You have these incredibly intricate wiring harnesses. Think of them like the car's nervous system, carrying all the power and data. And of course, the pristine metal panels that will eventually form its skin. Every single piece has a very precise role to play. Now, of all those components we just saw, there's one that is way more important than any other. So right now, we're heading to the real heart of the factory, the place where the car gets its power, and you could say its soul, the battery assembly line.
In the world of electric vehicles, the battery pack isn't just another component, it is the car. Its construction is so specialized, so important, that it happens in its own dedicated, climate-controlled section of the factory.
So how do you actually build one of these things? Well, it's this fascinating, multi-stage process. It all starts with thousands of individual battery cells. You have these hyper-precise robots stacking them up like they're tiny, powerful bricks. Next, these stacks get grouped together into sealed, protected modules. That's for safety. And finally, all of those modules are wired together inside a super rugged casing to create the single, massive battery pack that's going to power the entire car.
And that is exactly why robots are so essential here. I mean, when you're dealing with this much energy, the margin for error is basically zero. This level of automation isn't just about being fast, it's a guarantee of safety and performance. It makes sure every single connection is perfect, and every cell is placed with microscopic precision. But it's not all robots. Behind the scenes, you have these highly skilled technicians who are basically the guardians of the whole process. From these really complex control panels, they are constantly monitoring the battery's vital signs. We're talking voltage, temperature, and tons of other data points to make sure every single pack is absolutely flawless before it moves on.
Okay, so with the heart of the car now built, we're moving to the area where the body is forged. And let me tell you, this is one of the most visually spectacular stages of the whole tour. It's where the car's skeleton finally starts to take its familiar shape.
This part is pure industrial theater. It is just this dynamic, powerful process where raw metal is transformed into the strong, rigid structure that's going to protect the driver and house all the vehicle's components. Just watch how this unfolds. First, you get this incredible ballet of robotic arms welding the main chassis together in a shower of sparks. It's amazing. Then, teams of both humans and robots work together to install the electric motors and the core electronics. And then comes the big moment. The entire battery pack we just saw being built is lifted and integrated right into the floor of the frame. And that's not just for tidy packaging. It gives the car an incredibly low center of gravity, which is absolutely key to its performance and handling. So, what you're seeing here is this perfect blend of raw power and delicate precision. From the intense heat of those welds to the careful placement of microelectronics, every single step is engineered for one purpose: to create a vehicle that is safe and reliable right from its very foundation.
So the car now has its skeleton and its heart. It's definitely recognizable, but it's not quite complete yet. We're now entering the final assembly line. This is a high-speed conveyor where the vehicle truly comes to life with all its defining features.
If the last stage was all about strength and structure, this stage is all about finesse and function. This is where the car gets its color, its interior, its interface, everything that makes it a comfortable, usable, and beautiful machine. And wow, the pace here is just incredible. You've got these perfectly painted car bodies just gliding down the line.
And at each station, another piece of the puzzle gets added. An automated system might install the entire dashboard in one smooth motion, while technicians are nearby fitting the seats, the steering wheel, and of course that all-important central touchscreen with flawless accuracy.
So the car looks finished. It looks like it could roll right off the line and onto the street, right? Well, not quite. We've now arrived at the final and maybe the most important stop inside the factory, what I like to call the quality control gauntlet.
Before any car is cleared to leave, it has to go through this exhaustive series of checks. Engineers are verifying panel alignment down to the millimeter. They're testing all the software to make sure every single feature works. They run diagnostics on all the safety systems. The car is even driven through these bright LED light tunnels so inspectors can spot any tiny potential imperfection in the paint. This isn't just a checklist, it is the final line of defense.
And this right here, this is the factory's ultimate promise. It's a completely non-negotiable commitment that no vehicle will leave this building until it meets every single standard for quality, safety, and performance. Period. And only after passing every single one of those tests does the car finally get the green light. And we can see them right here, rolling silently off the inspection line and onto transport carriers, fully prepared for their journey to new owners all over the world.
And with that, our guide gives us a proud smile. And it makes sense. We've just witnessed the entire transformation from a collection of raw parts and materials to a sophisticated, fully tested, and road-ready electric vehicle.
What an incredible process, right? It's just this amazing combination of human ingenuity and robotic precision. And it kind of leaves you with a fascinating thought. If this is what manufacturing looks like today, what incredible innovations will the factories of the future bring us?
And that's our tour. From a simple steel frame all the way to a finished car rolling out the door. If you enjoyed taking a peek behind the curtain with us, make